Good evening. Good evening. One more time. Good evening. There you go. I just have to correct Mr. McDonald. Worcester Country Club has the best caddy program by far. Thank you. Like he said, my name is Richard Asirifi, and I have caddied at the Worcester Country Club for 11 years. I'm also a senior at the University of Massachusetts Lowell, studying electrical engineering. I take great pride in both of these facts, as they did not come easy. It took a lot of prayer, adjustment, perseverance, and inspiration. I am here today because of opportunities that were not squandered. It may be hard for some of you in here to just imagine my early life in just words, but I'll try my best. I was raised in Ghana, West Africa, by my parents, Mrs. Grace Nyako, who's sitting over there, and Mr. Samuel Asirifi Nyako. I would barely see my father because in an economy like Ghana's, he could not support the family unless he worked as hard as he did. The same thing went for my mother. She had her own side business selling purified water in small clear bags downtown to businessmen and businesswomen. In all this, I realize now, more than then, how blessed I was. It was a custom in Ghana for families to send their children away to work with rich families in exchange for housing. My parents didn't want that. And I always found it amazing that even when my parents were presented a lighter burden, they sacrificed it in order to keep us together. As I grew, I learned about responsibilities. By the age of 7, I was doing dishes, sweeping, and learning how to cook. Yeah, I'm okay. Birthdays included the luxury of popcorn as a treat and my favorite meal being made. Life was simple and difficult all at once, but my brothers and I were happy. When I turned 8, my parents announced to me and my 2 brothers that we were coming to America. So began an 8-month preparation process. Back and forth from our home to the embassy. Just so you know, it's about the same distance as from Worcester to New York City, except on dirt, pothole roads, much like Massachusetts. Part of our preparation for America was my parents spending their hard-earned money for their 2 boys to have English lessons. They wanted us to have a head start. Those were the days that shaped my idea of what a father, a husband, a parent, and a man looked like. I would wake up some nights after our trips to and from the embassy, and the whole family was in the bed, except for my father. He would sleep on the ground to ensure our comfort. Something about that has never left me, and is the reason why I always work harder. My parents would stop at no discomfort to see their kids succeed. Before I continue, I want to acknowledge my mother and father, who have always been there for us. Mom, Dad. We settled in Worcester, Massachusetts, which had a strong Ghanaian population rooted there already. A few years later, when I was 11 years old, my older brother Jason came home one day and said to me, "I got us a job at the Worcester Country Club caddying." My first response, "What's the Worcester Country Club? What's caddying?" He told me that the Worcester Country Club was the big green place behind the railroad tracks. I would soon learn about caddying. Well, that job has shaped my life today. But at the time, I had no idea what golf was. And at that age, to be honest, it didn't matter much. A summer job and cash were all that mattered to us. So we went through the 3-day process to becoming a caddy. Day 1 at the club was spent reviewing the Ouimet caddy DVD and handling a golf bag. The next 2 days, we walked the course, raked bunkers, tended the flag, read yardages, and attempted to keep the perfect pace with the golfer. During that training, the caddy master rolled me hard, and I may have given a little bit of attitude. But 11-year-old me was surprised when, on the third day after I passed the test, he told me not to come back. I came back anyway. I was never good at losing or missing out on an opportunity. It just didn't make sense to me. Funny enough, as I walked in, the caddy master simply nodded at me, and I joined the ranks of caddies. He may have been too busy, but I like to think that he was testing me, and he acknowledged that I would never quit. So as I seen with my parents, I knew this was a challenge. I had to grab it. I couldn't quit. It was my first golf course lesson. A decade of caddying has matured me. Every summer morning, it was time to go to work, persevere through long and yielding days where you must be good from the first hole to the 18th hole to receive a good reward. Caddying taught me how to hold a conversation with people from many backgrounds and to be bold in my statements. Being a caddy taught me to not let one tough hole keep me down. It taught me that no matter how steep the hill is, there will always be a halfway house with chocolate chip cookies and an Arnold Palmer. Let's go. Clap for that. Clap for that. Like my parents, caddying taught me that sometimes an opportunity is not about making the best move for yourself, just to ease your load, but it's about making the best move for everyone so everyone can win. Our parents seizing the opportunity to move to America led us to a better life. And my brothers and I, and the other caddies, were fortunate to be so welcomed at the Worcester Country Club. Great people like Mark Aldrich, who served as a counselor to me, Alan Belden, who expected nothing but 100% from me, Jack McDaniel, Uncle Jack, who just assembled the group from Worcester Country Club and just got everybody on the coach and got them here, so thank you for that. And Dennis Gabersky, who invested in my future and got me into UMass Lowell. They introduced me not only to the style and the culture at the Worcester Country Club, but they also introduced me to the Ouimet Fund. And this scholarship has helped me greatly at UMass. My family did not have the financial ability to support me through school. They already exhausted their savings to send me to Newberry College for a year before I could transfer. I was not the honor student, but I worked hard. Working at the club, I was able to take some of the financial burden off my parents so we could spend more time at home together. Although, to be fair, they never stopped working. They worked as if my brothers and my life depended on it, and in reality, it did. Caddy money can only go so far into the winter. Trust me, I know. Now I don't need to constantly work during the school year. Ouimet makes the difference. I am able to freely take on unpaid opportunities for my electrical engineering major. This will in no doubt lead to more opportunities, and I am ready to take them all. 11 years after walking into the Worcester Country Club with my brother, I am standing before you, a proud Christian, citizen of the United States, senior caddy, soon-to-be college graduate. Hey. And Ouimet scholar. If anybody has a doubt that America is still a great place to be, just take a second and look at me. I'm making it. So before I leave you, thank you all very much for your support. And before I leave you, I'd like to say, Nyamin Shra Yen Nina. God bless us all, and God bless the United States of America. Thank you.